going to introduce myself and kind of start the day today. So thank you so much to all of the students who are on the session today. My name is Ellie from Pathway CTM, and I'm going to be your host, and I'm going to be with you throughout the whole of the day. So thank you so much for joining us. We are just going to do a bit of an introduction first and talk you through the day, but I just wanted to say first and foremost, well done for being here in a day of your kind of Easter holidays to learn a little bit more about careers and next steps for yourselves. So that's really impressive. One thing I want to ask all students to do, now I've said hello myself, is just to put kind of a hello in the chat box. Can everyone see the chat box? I just want to keep an eye out and just make sure that you can all hear me and you're able to engage. So do you just pop a hi, like Tatiana, great, Elizabeth, well done, Salma. That's so good, Evie, Aisha, brilliant. I can see you all coming through, so that's great. Keep them coming. It's just really nice for me to see that you are with me and you're engaging for the day. I do think that there'll be a few, hi Jaden, hi Anna, that's great to see. So thank you for getting involved and engaging there. As you know, today we'll have a number of different kind of sessions running throughout the day, and we're lucky enough to be joined by kind of special guests throughout the day who will be giving us their expertise. But what I want to do for these first kind of 10 to 15 minutes is just talk to you a little bit about how the day is going to work in terms of structure and how you can make the most out of today. So what I'm going to do is just quickly talk through those different functions that you can engage with us with. So as you've seen Poppy, Jade and Anna recently, Jasnev, that is the chat box there. So throughout the whole day, you can get involved by writing any comments in the chat box, and I'll keep my eye on it throughout the whole day. So if you have any issues around, technical problems, if you can't hear me, if there's anything that would be more helpful, then pop those comments in the chat box. Or if you agree with someone or you want to kind of make a comment throughout the day, then do pop them in the chat box. For this first kind of session, then you do have access to kind of unmute yourself when we get into the breakout rooms, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But in some of the sessions later today, it will be more kind of webinar style, and that means that you can write some questions in the Q&A box. So keep your eye out for that for the sessions later today, and you'll be able to ask questions in that Q&A box, which I will get to throughout the day, and we'll make sure that we get those answered for you. If you do have any other kind of questions at all, then feel free to raise your hand. That just alerts me that you need support or you want to make a comment or something. So you should have access to raise your hand to get involved there. But what I encourage you to do is ask as many questions as possible, make as many comments as possible, make the most out of today, because the fact that you're here shows that you're the right type of person and you're going to get really far because you've used your kind of own proactive mentality to be here today and to get involved and hear a little bit more about mental health careers. All my advice would be to make the most of the chat box, the Q&A box, and when you're in those breakout rooms, do unmute yourself and ask questions if you want to. So really that's really important to make the most out of today. Does anyone have any questions on that? Pop them in the chat box if you do, around engaging and things like that. As I've said earlier this morning, my name's Ellie and I work on the employer team at Pathway CTM, and I'm kind of your host for today, and I will be here throughout the whole day. And so there's a little emoji to remind you of who I am, but I'll be here throughout the whole day. And I can see number of students kind of trickling in now as well. So if anyone does have any questions and you haven't heard the kind of initial kickoff for today, then do just pop them in the chat box and I'll make sure to get back to you throughout this morning. So one of the first things I want to do, now we've got you engaging in the chat box, everyone has kind of said hello and keep them coming. What I want you to put in the chat box now is, today we are focusing on mental health careers. So of course, what we're going to be talking about today is that career route within the mental health arena. So we're not going to be talking about mental health specifically, but we are going to be talking about going into those careers and hearing from people in the industry about their journeys, pathways and routes into mental health careers. So can anyone pop in the chat box, you know, what's a word that comes to mind when you think of these career routes? I just want to, it's really good for our speakers who are going to be talking to us later today to have an idea of your understanding at the moment. So mental health careers, what do you think of? So just like you put hiya and hello in the chat box, can we also make sure that, yeah, great. So Elizabeth put therapist, Sharon put psychiatrist, Simran support, psychiatry is a common one. Jasvine's put in there therapist, Pravat's put social work, so that's really interesting. Nurse, Zoe, that's a good one because we're going to be hearing from some nurses today. Adam, medication, great. Isabel, counsellor, nurse, that's great. I'm just going to give you a minute or so to just keep thinking of any ideas there that you think of when you think mental health careers. Social worker from Harchana. So that's brilliant. Thank you so much for getting involved and putting those ideas in there. It really helps us get an idea of your current understanding of mental health careers. Just one quick point there then.
I'm talking about
I can put everyone on mute like I have just then. One ask from my side, like I mentioned earlier around the chat box and Q&A box, please do keep yourself on mute when we're in this main meeting room, even though you have the power to unmute yourself, because it's just really great for everyone on the line to hear the main speakers in the main room just until we tell you otherwise. So like we just heard there, then I'm able to mute you, but equally do just pop yourselves on mute until there is something to get involved with otherwise. So well done everyone that's kind of got involved so far. That's really great to hear, and thank you for being so kind of responsive. That's brilliant. What I'm going to do now is just I'm going to launch a quick poll. So students, that will pop up for you in your screen, and it just asks a few questions about today, about your current understanding of mental health careers, and it gives us a good idea of where we're at the moment. So I'm just going to launch that now, and that should pop up on your screen. Like always, any issues at all, then do pop it in the chat box if you can't see that, for example. So I'm just going to give that a minute or so. So do get your results in to that. So we've just launched that poll. We'll leave it up for a minute or so, and then we'll go through those answers, which helps give us an idea of your current understanding in the sector. And then we'll talk about kind of next steps and what we're going to be doing for the rest of this morning, because that'll be really helpful to give you an idea of what's coming up. So thank you to everyone that's doing that poll currently. Just while you do that as well, then I want to make the most of this kind of introduction, and we can give you those results in a few slides or so. What I'm going to talk you through now is what we're going to be doing today. And of course, there's a chance to ask questions, and if you're unsure about any of it, then we can go through it throughout the day. But to give you a bit of an idea of what's to come. So as you know now, we're doing an introduction, we're getting you involved in the chat box with those few kind of games and quizzes and the poll that we just launched. And then we're going to be going into an overview of the roles in mental health careers. So what that's going to be is a bit of a speed meet session of various different healthcare professionals who are going to be talking about their journeys and the roles that are available. Then we're going to have a quick break. So throughout the day, we've made sure that there are definitely breaks throughout the day to make sure that you're raring to go in each of the different sessions. So then we've got a great session coming up with health tech, which will be interactive. And I've done that session before, and it's absolutely brilliant. So you should look forward to that one just post the break. Then we're going to have lunch, and then we're going to come back and we're going to hear from some professionals around their different career pathways, and also top tips and things you need to know if you're looking to go down this career pathway route. And then we'll finish up with a Q&A panel to make sure that you get all of your questions answered today. And then we'll be giving you really direct kind of next steps and signposting you to helpful places where you can look for more information around these career routes. And also from a Pathway CTM side, we'll be talking about that support that we can give you after today. So hopefully that gives you a good idea in terms of what's coming up. As I said earlier, any questions on that, do pop them in the chat box, and we can keep our eye on those. So that should have given you a few minutes to kind of work through those questions in the poll. I'm going to quickly introduce from my side someone else from our team who has visibility of those polls as well. So Catherine, you're right to say hello and then share those results for us.
Yes, of course. Hi there, Ellie, and hi, everyone. So let's have a look at those poll results. So we asked you, what is your understanding of the routes to mental health careers? So 60% of you have said fair, 29% have said good, 2% said excellent, and 8% said poor. But that is fine, because this is why you're here today, and we're going to help you further on that. The second question, do you know which education pathway you are going to take next? So 63% of you have said yes, 33% are not sure, and 4% have said no. Are you considering a healthcare career? 73% of you have said yes, 27% have said maybe. So hopefully after today, that will be a little bit clearer for you guys. And what are you most looking to get out of today? So 56% of you have said to find out more about different roles, and the rest of you said to understand opportunities in the sector.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Catherine. And thank you so much for filling out those polls. That's brilliant. And hopefully it gives us a good idea, like Catherine said, of where we're at in terms of your current understanding, and as we lead into the next session. That's very good for us to know, so thank you so much. Just before we do that, so what I'm going to do is quickly talk you through how the next session is going to work. I know that in that quick introduction from me, then hopefully it's put your mind at rest in terms of any technical side of things, and we're here, an introduction from Catherine as well, so you've got a couple of people from Pathway CTM to help you throughout the day, but also it gives you a flavour of how interactive we want to make today. We don't want it to be you sat at home and us here presenting to you. We absolutely want you getting involved. So this first session is a great example of how we can make that as interactive as possible for you. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a breakout room session where you're put into smaller groups, and there's going to be 3 different groups, and you're going to be hearing from 3 different sections of mental health careers side of things around the different routes that are on offer if you are interested in mental health careers. So what will happen is that in a few minutes or so, then you will be invited into one of these virtual breakout rooms, and in each of those rooms you'll have someone from Pathway CTM, so I'll make sure that we do some quick introductions in a second there. And then you'll have some experts from a healthcare side talking about those different roles and routes in. So what that means for you is just that you'll be in a bit of a smaller environment, you'll be able to ask a few questions, and you'll be able to hear more intimately and directly from those professionals. So just from our side, do we have Chris on the line to say
yes,
hello?
Ellie,
hi Chris. Great. You're right to just give us a quick introduction from your side, and we've said Catherine's given us a hello, so just from you too.
Yeah, absolutely. So hi everyone, I'm Chris. I'm the founder and CEO of Pathway CTM, in the office actually today for one of the first time, so quite interesting and different. You get 3 different experiences, so you will hear from 3 different people, and just basically just ask different questions that you want. So in my rooms, what I recommend, anytime a question comes into your head, pop it in the chat box, and I'll make sure that I read it out. Or indeed, if you want to be brave and speak out loud, I do encourage that as well, and just speak up and ask the question whenever you want. So you'll normally see that they will speak about their roles and their experiences, but then they'll ask for any questions. So yeah, the more questions we have, the better, because you don't want to hear my questions; they won't be as good as yours.
That's amazing. Thanks so much, Chris. So I can see we've got, I'm going to want to do some quick introductions as well for those people that will be in your rooms, partly because it's nice to have a pre-introduction, and also so I can make sure that you're allocated correctly. So I know we've got Lydia here, haven't we? Lydia, you're right to unmute yourself and say hello just quickly before we go into those breakout rooms.
Yeah, hi, I'm Lydia.
Hi Lydia, nice to have you on the line, and you'll be talking about your experiences, and I know that also in that room with you we've got Gavin on the line.
Yep, hi everyone, so I'm Gavin. I can explain a bit more about who I am in the breakout room.
That's brilliant. And in that room with you as well, then we'll have Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, are you okay to say hello?
Hi, yeah, lovely to meet you all.
Oh, that's great, Lizzie. And then in those other two rooms, then we are, do we have Rose on the line?
Hi, I've just joined using my personal phone because I don't know, IT Oxford seems not to be working.
That's fine, no worries at all. Thank you so much for joining us, and I can allocate you now. Brilliant. And then last but not least, do we have Anne on the line? Not to worry if not. What I'm going to do then is, because it looks like we'll just be waiting on Anne, is that we're going to just split up. We had the introduction there from Gavin and Lizzie and Lydia. So what I'm going to do is just Lizzie, you're going to have a bit more time to your own in that third room, and then if we get Anne come through, then we can put her in there. So just to explain a bit more there, so we've got all of our speakers then, and we're going to be splitting everyone up into those rooms. And I wonder, Chris, just while I quickly divvy those up, are you all right to talk about breakout rooms? I know you've said those questions, but yeah, how that's going to work, and just a really quick overview while I quickly allocate those rooms.
Yeah, definitely, guys. So the first things first, particularly those students, and indeed those from the NHS, if you haven't already, you can change your name. So I think
Ellie, can you see me?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, we
yes,
can,
that's
we can
great.
see you there.
That's perfect timing.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much, Anne.
Is that Anne? Fantastic. And Anne and others who haven't. So you can literally go onto participants, or you can just click your name, and then you can basically rename yourself. And what I've just done there is I've just put Chris Pathway CTM. So if you've got like a login, if you're a student and it's like my weird MSN Hotmail one, you can just change that to your name. First name, you don't need your second name, but definitely on the NHS side, if you can do that, that'd be really great, just so we all know your names when we move you around the different rooms in the virtual world, which is a little bit different really. But yeah, I would just say to echo what I said before, three different rooms, 3 opportunities to ask different questions, and if I was in your situation, hopefully you're interested in a career down this route, or at least you're learning about it, just write down key notes, because if you are going to be applying, trust me, you'll learn some really key things here. And if you are putting on your CV or your UCAS statement, again, you can actually name drop people and say that you met someone, you experienced a conversation with someone from this department, this hospital, whatever that might be. That can really support you in terms of what you're doing there. Ellie, just seeing how you're going there. Otherwise, I'll just ask Catherine a question or two.
No, that's amazing. And yeah, perfect. I've just allocated those rooms. So we're all ready to go. Thank you so much for our speakers. That's really good advice. Yeah, do take down notes and make the most out of this session. What will come up in a minute or so is that you will get just a notification on the screen. All you have to do is accept that. But like I said, any issues, pop it in the chat box and I'm here for you the whole time. Enjoy your first speed meet room, and I will see some of you lucky people in one of the rooms in a second. So yeah, have a good speed meet, and we'll be moving around the rooms as we go, so enjoy. Hi everyone, welcome back. Hi Anne, I can see you waving, that's great. I hope
And
that...
just heading off, I think.
Oh, thank you so much. I know we have 1 minute or so, so what I really wanted to say, just while people trickle back through, is thank you so much for all of our speakers in that session. I found it really interesting and learned a lot, so I'm sure that all of our students did too, and we had some really good questions coming through. The next session starts at 11:45. You'll get a text in 1 minute which has the details to that. You also have all of the details via email, but if you are struggling at all to get on, then do just text back that number and we can give you those dial-in details for a second time. So that's absolutely no problem at all. I'll be on from 11:45 and we're going to have a really great kind of interactive session with health tech starting at 11:45. So I can see a few people kind of trickling through, the last people from that breakout room. So a really big thank you from Pathway CTM to everyone that's been involved and spoken in those sessions. I know that we've had some really good feedback, so thanks again, and we'll see you at 11:45 for session 2 of the day, and thanks again, and I'll see you all then, and well done for getting involved and asking questions. So see you soon, and thanks again.
Well done,
Ellie,
everyone.
Ellie, I'm going off, you know that.
Yeah, no worries at all, Anne, thank you.
Okay then, take care, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.